Okay, so now I have to start telling you how to put this uniform measure on omega comma b. Are there any questions at this point? So I want the following, right. I want to put a uniform probability measure on omega comma Borel, right. So, my omega is 0 1, I have the Borel sigma algebra on it. I want to put a uniform measure on uniform probability measure on this space, this measurable space, right. Now, now the question arises what kind of. So, I want, so if I give you a nice Borel set, let us say an interval some a b, say let us say open a closed p, right. I know what measure I want for those sets. I want it to be b minus a, right, the length of it, right. That is really what we started out saying, right. I want the property that the measure of the interval a b should be something proportional to b minus a, and I also said it should be translationally invariant, right. So, I will start off saying that for the generating class or for all these nice intervals, I want the measure to be the length of the proportional to the length of the interval. In this case you can take it to be equal to the length of the interval, because I mean the length itself is 1 and you will automatically get a probability measure, right. So, I want to say that for these generating classes my measure should be proportional to the length, but that is not enough, right. I have to specify the probability measure for all Borel sets which can be fairly crazy, right. I mean for if you have something crazy like Cantor set, right, how do you measure, it is not like a collection of intervals, right, it is a very weird scattering of points, but the measure I assign should hold for all Borel sets, but I can only specify a measure for these nice intervals, right. So, I have to be able to extend this measure, right, this measure I assign to these intervals to all these crazy Borel sets also, right. So, this is what our program is now. Okay. So, I will do the following. So, I want to take so I want to start with a very simple collection of subsets. So, let us again take omega equal to 0 1 as usual, and I take f naught is the collection of subsets of omega which are finite unions of disjoint intervals of the form a b plus the empty set. Okay. So, I am saying, so I am taking a collection of subsets of 0 1 which contains the following subsets. Okay. It contains the null set. So, put the null set in. So, you are collecting subsets of 0 1, put the null set in first, and then you put all subsets which are of the form open A closed B or finite unions thereof, not countable, just finite unions thereof. So, as a typical element of f naught will be of the form a 1 b 1 closed union a 2 b 2 closed union dot 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 sum a n b n, right, where A1 is less than B1, less than or A1 is 0 less than or equal to A1 less than B1 less than or equal to A2 less than B2 dot 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 less than or equal to An less than Bn. So, F naught consists of sets which are finite unions of these semi open semi closed intervals. It also contains null set. Okay. So, now what I am going to do is I am going to say that if you give me an element of F naught, right, some set like that, I am going to say its probability measure I want it to be equal to B 1 minus A 1 plus B 2 minus A 2 plus so on till B n minus A n, right, but I want to make sure that measure also extends to all Borel sets, right, also to countable union. This is only a finite union, remember, right. So, that is our program. So, that is what we have to do. Okay. Okay. So, now the extension of this measure, right. So, I know what the measure of these guys should be, right, B 1 minus A 1 plus B 2 minus A 2 plus so on, but I want to extend that measure to the entire Borel sigma algebra, all Borel sets. So, the way you do that is by a very fundamental theorem in measure theory known as Carathéodory's theorem, Carathéodory's extension theorem. Carathéodory is a British mathematician. Okay. I will state the theorem without proving it. So, that is the main technical tool that helps us extend our what measure we want on sets of this form to all Borel sets. Okay. So, before that I want to get these certain properties of F naught I want to finish. So, I want to say that F naught is first of all an algebra. In fact, the moment I wrote down some F naught you probably guessed it is an algebra, right, I mean because that is the notation I have been using all along, right. I use F naught for algebra and F for a sigma algebra, right. I did not tell you that at this point, right, I have just said F naught consists of a certain kind of sets, but you can prove that F naught is an algebra. How would you prove that F naught is an algebra? It contains phi, by definition it has null set. Then you have to prove complements are also sets at F naught. So, if you have some set like, so open closed, right, this is 0 1 and I have some set like open close, then the complement will also be of that form, right. This guy, the complement is also open closed and so on, right. Is omega in F naught? The sample space, is it an element of F naught? It is, right, because which is now you see why I took open closed here. Okay. That is also an element of F naught, right. So, all these simple properties hold. And how about countable unions, sorry, finite unions? F naught should be closed under finite unions, which you can show, right. So, it is a fairly simple homework problem, I leave it to you as a homework problem. Okay. So, this I will leave you as a homework. I just spoke out the proof, you just have to write it out. Okay. So, closure under complementation and finite unions. Okay. Now, this F naught is not a sigma algebra. Okay. So, this collection F naught that I have defined is an algebra, but not a sigma algebra. So, here is another example of a collection of subsets of 0 1 which is an algebra, but not a sigma algebra. You already encountered such an example in your homework, I think, of some collection which is an algebra, but not a sigma algebra, right. So, this is another example, this F naught, this collection is not a sigma algebra, although it is an algebra. How do you prove that? So, in order to prove something is not a sigma algebra, you have to see the complementation will, I mean, that will not going to help you, because I mean it is an algebra already, right. So, you the only way it cannot be a sigma algebra is countable unions are not closed, right. So, you can give a very simple example. If you take let us say you take sets of the form, let us say you take a n's are sets of the form 0 comma n over n plus 1. Is that so that will do, I think. If you do that, n equals 1 2 dot. Okay. So, a 1 will be 0 half, right, a 2 will be 0 2 over 3 closed and so on. Okay, this is the sequence of sets I have. Are these guys in F naught? So, a n's are in F naught for all n. Agreed? Why? Because they are of that form, no, they are of this form. Now, if you take countable union, n equals 1 through infinity, 0 comma n over n plus 1, what do you get? 0. So, I am taking countable union, not countable intersection, right. I am taking countable union of 0. So, the first set will be 0 comma half, second set will be 0 comma 2 by 3 and so on, they are getting bigger and bigger, right. So, I mean, so the point is this, right. So, this union contains, now you have to look at, so you are looking at the set of all points contained in at least one of the a n's, right, correct. So, you can show in fact this is equal to open interval 0 1, this is open, you can show that these two sets are equal. Okay, see the open interval 0 1 includes all points in 0 1, but does not include 1. So, you can show that this none of these a n's include 1, but for any number 1 minus epsilon, 1 minus a little bit will be in one of these a n's. Okay, so, this you think about, okay, this is fairly easy, I mean just try and prove it rigorously. So, you get this union is equal to open interval 0 1. Is open interval 0 1 in F naught? No, it does not, it is not in F naught, because you only have open closed on this. So, this is not an element of F naught, correct. So, here is a concrete example that my F naught is not an sigma algebra, although it is an algebra. Okay. So, proof of 2, finally, I want to state the third property, that I am going to look at the sigma algebra generated by this collection F naught. So, F naught is sets of these forms, collection of sets of these forms, right. So, I am going to generate the sigma algebra. So, I am going to consider the sigma algebra generated by F naught. So, I told you F naught is not a sigma algebra, right. So, I have to make it into a sigma algebra, right, make it into by which I mean consider the smallest sigma algebra that contains all elements of F naught, okay, which is what this is, sigma F naught. Okay. Any guesses on what this will be? No, see F naught is empty set and sets of this form, right. I told you with an algebra it is not a sigma algebra, but in probability theory I want to work with sigma algebra. So, I am considering the smallest sigma algebra generated by F naught. Okay. What it turns out is that this sigma algebra is no different from the Borel sigma algebra. It turns out this is equal to B 0 1. Okay, this you can prove. So, what am I saying in effect, what am I saying? See, the Borel sigma algebra initially was defined as the sigma algebra generated by open intervals. I am saying that even if you generate a sigma algebra by the semi open semi closed type of intervals, it will still be the same Borel sigma algebra, meaning that the sigma of f naught is same as sigma of C naught, which is the open intervals. Okay. So, I have not proven it yet, right. So, do I have the time to prove it? I have 5 minutes. Okay, let me try and prove this. So, how do you prove that? So, how do you prove something like this? How do you prove that the sigma algebra generated by these class of sets is no different from the sigma algebra generated by open intervals? See, first of all, you should recognize that this is an equality of two what kind of objects? Collections, right. So, this is a collection of some subsets, this is some other collection of subsets of 0 1, and I want to prove that this is equal to that, which means I should prove so this is contained in that and that is contained in this, right. That is what I need to prove. Now, which is the easier part? So, this let me just write this guy is nothing but sigma of C naught by definition, C naught is open intervals. Okay. So, this is you already know that. So, how do I prove that? So, I want to prove this is contained in Borel and each Borel set is contained in sigma f naught, right. So, let me try and do that. Proof of 3 to show sigma f naught is contained in B 0 1, it is enough to show f naught is contained in B. Right. Why is this? So, this is the smallest sigma algebra containing f naught. So, I am saying that if the Borel sigma algebra is a sigma algebra containing f naught, then it must follow that sigma f naught is contained in B by the theorem, right, with the theorem we stated about sigma C generated sigma algebras. So, you buy this. So, if I prove this, I have proved this. Why? Because here is a sigma, B is a sigma algebra containing f naught. So, sigma f naught must be a sub sigma algebra of B. How do you prove that f naught is contained in B? So, in order to prove this, I should prove that every set in f naught is a Borel set, right. And what is a typical element of f naught? It can either be an empty set, which is definitely Borel, or it must be a set of this form, right. But I know that half open half closed intervals are Borel. So, finite unions are Borel, right. So, this is clear. So, this is easy, right. This is fairly easy, I just argued it out. Prove that element, so empty set is in B, and also any element of f naught of this form we have proven already that they are Borel sets, right. So, this follows, if this is true, then this is true. So, one direction is over, the one direction is very easy, right. Now, I have to prove which way? I have to prove that next to show which direction? B is contained in sigma f naught. to next to show we proceed as follows. So, if you take any open interval a b which is a subset of omega, okay, open interval a b can be written as union let us see union n equals 1 through infinity a b minus 1 by n. Is that correct? Just like this, no, I mean it is something I am writing something similar to this, right. So, do you agree with this equation? Verify this. Okay. So, now what have I shown? Any open interval is a countable union of elements of f naught, right. So, these guys are all elements of f naught, correct. So, countable union of elements of f naught will be a element of sigma f naught, certainly, right. So, what does this prove? This implies every element of C naught is an element of sigma f naught, correct. So, I am doing this proof I mean just as a practice for you, I mean I think you should, these you will encounter several such proofs. So, this implies C naught, my collection of open intervals, was certainly contained in sigma f naught. So, why is that true? For any open interval a b, I have written it as a countable union of elements of f naught. So, this countable union must be an element of sigma f naught, fine, everybody with me. So, then this follows, correct. Now, what? Just one step remains. So, I have identified a sigma algebra that contains C naught, correct. So, therefore, sigma of C naught must be contained in sigma of f naught. What is sigma of C naught? Borel, right, this must be Borel. So, I have proved it both ways, right. So, I have proved that the sigma algebra generated by sets of the form f naught is nothing but the Borel sigma algebra, okay. In fact, in the homework you will prove that if you were to generate sigma algebras using closed intervals, you will still get Borel sigma algebra, right. So, you can generate Borel sigma using open intervals or closed intervals, it does not matter, okay. This okay, everybody with me. So, this lemma is important, okay. So, lemma has 3 components that says that f naught is an algebra, not a sigma algebra, and sigma of f naught is in fact the Borel sigma algebra, okay. So, we will use this lemma very heavily to define the uniform probability measure or the Lebesgue measure on the 0 1 interval, okay, which will be topic of tomorrow's lecture, okay. Thanks.